Well done, lads. You rode a very good stage. Finishing in the top 10, even though the stage didn't suit us, is very satisfying.
Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to the Tour de France 2020 Pro Team career with the TIJ Racing Team. Today it is time for episode 7 of season 1 and stage number 3 of the Open Tour. This time it is a really hilly stage and you'll be able to see the profile of that stage in just a minute. Of course, remember to subscribe for weekly Tour de France content released on a Tuesday, Thursday and on a Saturday at 6 PM. And leave a like down below if you go on to enjoy. Those likes are really, really important. Also, comment your thoughts. Keep your comments coming in. They are hugely important and really help in deciding my strategies for the upcoming stages. But today, as I've said, it is time for stage number 3 of the Open Tour. But before we get into it, let's have a quick look back at the second stage. Now, the first and second stages were flat stages with not too many difficulties. And in the last stage, we had Ben Swift and John Dibben both in the top 20, which is a big plus, and Marcus Holmes, as you can see, just outside the top 20. Pardon me. So the general classification looks pretty good at the moment. Just 6 guys with an advance, and that's purely because you get a time advantage of either 10, 4, I think it's 10, 6 or 4 seconds, depending on whether you finish first, second or third. So obviously Buhani won one stage, Mark Harto won the other, but it's pretty stabilised in the field at the moment. In the polka dot jersey, Mikael Bjerg for our team has managed to pick up a point, but Janssen, the Norwegian. Which one is that? Is that Danish or Norwegian? I'm going to say it's Norwegian. Oh, too confusing. I hate flags. You'd have thought I'd have quite liked flags as a sports fan, but anyway. Ben Swift is 5th in the points classification. Bjerg also up there in 14th. Young rider classification, Simon Williams and Mikael Bjerg are in there at the moment, but take that with a pinch of salt. Everybody is in exactly the same second. And then in the compatibility classification, which we're not bothered about really, Bjerg is in 6th. So into the pro cycling rankings, Ben Swift, thanks dog, got a few points last time out, and he's up to 66th in the overall standings, and we remain in 23rd in the overall standings as a team. But today, it is time for stage number 3, so without any further ado, let's hear what the sports director's got to say about this stage.
It'll be a very demanding day for everyone. Several mountain passes and a summit finish await you. This is a key stage for the general classification. It's also important in the struggle for the mountain standings. We can hope to be on top at the end of the stage. We've got to pick up as many points as possible to overtake the leader of the classification. We don't have what it takes to play a prominent role. If we want to make a showing, we'll have to join the early breakaway. Good luck, guys!
Hello everyone. Today the climbers have the right to express themselves. Everything will be condensed into less than 75 kilometers with the Tourmalet and Hautacam passes.
Here we are then for the third stage, definitely the toughest yet. And before we get into it, have a quick look at this. Look at the objectives for today. There are actually 4 objectives, one of them not shown on there. The one that's not shown on there is to score 9 points in the climbs with Mikael Bjerg. Bloody hell, that's going to be tough. And also to be part of today's breakaway with Quintana, who we're controlling. He's probably our best bet in the mountains. Also with Williams and also with Holmes. Jesus, how are we going to manage that? Well, we'll get those 2 guys to make an attack. And I feel like Bjerg has got to be there as well, hasn't he, to get some points. But yeah, I can't believe that. Obviously, we're putting all of our hopes in being in the early breakaway. So we've told Bjerg, Williams, and the other guy. What's the other guy? Holmes to attack, and that's all we can do really. We'll control with Quintana. He's our best chance. We'll have to see how we get on. Just follow the guy in front. And there we go. There's our guys. So, there's 3 of them here. Williams is also coming. Apologies about the dog outside, by the way. If you can hear her. Over the cycling. But there you go. There's got 3 of our guys in the breakaway. It actually worked today, thank goodness. But ultimately, we need to set some good pace. There's too many in this breakaway, though, really. You can see Janssen's here, who's got the polka dot jersey. So, there's 15 guys in this breakaway. To be honest, it's a little bit too close to the peloton for my liking. I think we will probably be caught up, so we might have to have a bit of a second go at it, if you like. We've definitely got the energy with Quintana. Not particularly with the rest. I'm going to have to put a second spurt in here, I think. Yeah, Peloton's caught back up. It's been an unsuccessful breakaway. Shame. Well, we've been told to put all our efforts into the climbs with Bierge, but he's not our best climber at the end of the day. He's only got 1 point to the mountains classification, so that's just not enough for us to solely focus on him. That being said, the Peloton is now slipping away, and we have got 3 of our guys in the attack. So we're going to tell Williams to attack again, try and catch up to this group. Because I feel like this climb is a good chance to try and get a gap to the Peloton. They're not going to be too interested in putting too much into this climb. You can see already the Peloton is going away. But I don't think Williams has necessarily got what it takes to catch up at this point. So we'll tell him to attack for a little while longer. If he's got what it takes, he will go for it, I think. But yeah, we're not too fussed. We've got 3 of our guys here. So we're going to get Holmes to protect Quintana, I think.
Group at the front mustn't be to his liking. He's stoked up his teammates to lead the Peloton back into contact.
You can see Williams is trying to go and attack a little bit now. Very unusual for a climb when you've actually got a decline here. We'll take it though. Gives us a good chance to regain our energy back that we used in going for it earlier. Williams has gone back into the Peloton, so I'm just going to tell him to just to chill. Follow and not overtire. Tell the rest of the guys to do that as well. I mean, I have told Marcus Holmes to protect Daya Quintana, so I don't really know why he's not. There he is. Just tucking behind him. Just 1 point available here. Just need to make sure Bierge keeps up as well. Obviously, because this is a more exciting stage, there's more in this stage, we will indeed be... Oh dear. Bierge leads the white jersey standings for now. Brilliant. But because this is such an exciting stage, we will of course just be doing this stage in today's video. Need to start going for it a bit here. We've got the energy and we're a little bit too far behind. Holmes being in front isn't really helping, so I'm just going to tell him to persist without limit here. Because he's not really helping us. Just put a bit of a push in with Quintana here. Half a kilometre to go. Quintana looks good here, unless these guys really go for it. Come on, son. Come on, son. No. Just haven't got what it takes in the end. Ah, annoying. Very annoying. But we have got 3 of our guys in the breakaway, to be fair. As you can see, the Peloton's a real long way behind now. Over a minute's gap. So a bit of a shame, really, that we couldn't get Williams in there. But, oh well, the opportunity's gone. We have got 3 of our guys in there. And it's something I've never experienced in a Tour de France stage. So, on the game, of course. It has happened in real life, I'm sure, but in the game, I've never had 3 different guys in the breakaway. It's going to be tough to manage all of their different expectations. Have a quick look at what is coming up. So we've got another 4th class climb and then a sprint. So this stage isn't really too demanding until we get to that highest class climb. And remember, it's not until after that climb that we get any of our secondary feed. So it's crucial not to burn energy too much because ultimately... we don't want to use any of our feed until we're going up that climb. So we're just going to tell our guys to put a 60% effort in on the relays. Work with your opponents and see how we get on. Well, I must have fallen asleep there. Huh. We've got the 2nd climb now. We did well in the relays though there. As you can see, we've got Quintana who's led 7% of the relays. I mean, it's Maurice who's really led the most, but Holmes putting a good shift in as well. Bierge clearly can't be bothered, so they might lose a bit of patience with him, perhaps, behind. Need to work a little bit harder, though, to get the point here. We did struggle before. We'll tell the other guys to attack, just to try their might. Might as well. Just to try and potentially tire the guys out behind. Jansen's starting to struggle there now. He's 13 seconds behind. Try and tail Holmes. Need to really put an attack in ourselves. We've been caught napping again here, I think. That being said, we should be okay. Come on. Come on, Quintana. And over the line, we get the point. Get in there. Nice. Good, 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 good. Seems Quintana, Bierge has blown up. But again, we're coming down the slope again, so he should be fine. We're going to go on board with him just to make sure he doesn't fall away at all. But good to see there. Very happy with that. Well, I'm really shocked here. The Peloton is actually caught back up to us. there was about a minute and a half's gap, but I think the problem was that there was too many in the breakaway, and that the peloton were forced to ride and catch up. But as you can see, one of the breakaway riders, Marcus Holmes, is really starting to struggle now, so we're just trying to make sure that he does okay, and that there's no issue with him. As you can see, John Dibben has completely fallen back. No real understanding why he has. I just don't get it. I'm just going to tell him to... I mean, it's saying ride hard. Just perform a tempo of 50%. If he's really knackered, then he's really knackered. But it's obviously all over for him in this stage. But it would be worthwhile just to keep his condition okay, because he could be useful in the 4th and 5th stage. But as you can see, there's a bit of a breakaway going now. I think that potentially Quintana... No, Quintana's back in the peloton. So, again, I don't think there's any point joining that breakaway. As you can see, we're just quickly... rather slowly, regaining that energy with Holmes. We'll go at a tempo of 50%. We'll also go back to Quintana because he's probably our best chance. Actually, no, we'll go with Swift because, of course, it's a sprint that's coming up, isn't it? Yeah, so we'll go with him. We'll just keep a check of Marcus Holmes. Don't want a second rider falling back particularly here. As you can see, everyone's trying to up the tempo. Important not to lose any pace. Is it the white jersey Ben Swift's got? Why is he in white? I don't quite get that. Why is Ben Swift in a different livery to the rest of us? Weird. Well, Terramay has managed to get to the top of the general standings, but again, I'd very much take that with a pinch of salt. Bierge was at the top of the overall... young rider standings for a minute, so again, you just have to take that with a complete pinch of salt. But yeah, I wanted to update you that the peloton had caught back up, and I will see you guys when we get to... Interestingly, the yellow jersey is starting to fall back a little. Yeah, let's fast forward until we get to the sprint. So here we are, 5 kilometres till that first sprint. Again, very important not to take any of our feed just yet. You can see Quintana has pulled away a little, so he might well have a chance at scoring some big points here. He's got a lot of energy left as well. Interesting that he's in a breakaway and actually he's got the most energy. I think he's probably our best overall rider. I think Swift's probably our best sprinter, but as an overall rider, I think Quintana's probably the best of them all in our team. Just need to keep cool. Remember, we haven't got a feed until after that highest class climb, and the climb comes very much straight after this sprint, so important just to conserve our energy so we don't fall off too much. Seems Pasha has lost all of his energy. So, tell Williams to follow and not overtire. He's not really got too much in the sprinting category. We will tell Bierge to go for it a little bit, maybe to attack a little bit earlier on. We are being exposed to the wind a bit here, but nothing we can really do about that unless we tail in behind Haas, potentially. Quintana is right behind the leader, though, here, so he's got a good chance. Oh, for goodness sake, Haas. He's just following now. Tell Quintana to put an attack in. Obviously, we're going to focus on Swift being our main sprinter.
Okay, I'll put in a big acceleration.
I don't quite think we've got what it takes in this sprint, just because of the lack of blue energy we've got. Could be wrong, though. Bierge has gone for it. Leave it a little bit lighter so we've got a bit more in the tank at the end. Quintana's gone for it. Wow, Quintana looks to be able to win the sprint. That's fantastic. Going for it here. We're up into 4th. Don't think we can do any more than that. It's 3rd, actually. Wow, brilliant stuff. Quintana only 2nd in the end. Looks like he probably burned out, I would say. At the end there. And Holmes is starting to struggle now. We will probably just tell him to consume some of his blue feed. I mean, it's just purely because they're just not going for the sprint. Bierge managed to pick up 5 points. That's excellent. So, 2 of our riders in the top 3. And obviously Bierge picking up 5 points as well. So, good for the team. That's really key. Don't want to blow up with Holmes. So, just putting in a good turn of pace to catch up back to the peloton. But Quintana leads. We will tell him... I don't know whether to go for it a bit. Oh, I don't know. Let's go on board with Quintana. Not set any mad pace, but But we've got a decent gap, so it's worth utilising, but I think the field's going to come back to us, so it's just worth just chilling out a little bit here. We've got all of our feed left with Quintana as well, that's crucial. So, who knows, we could put in a bit of a chase in this highest class climb. I certainly think that Quintana's our best equipped rider to compete in the mountains. Here's the beginning of the climb then. It's an 18.9 kilometre climb. We're just going to tell all of our guys to follow, not overtire at this stage. We're not really interested in this stage massively. Not really interested in the general classification at all. The points classification is what we're most interested in. But we're still going to keep an eye on this with Quintana to try and potentially do something. He's our best guy in the mountains, I think. But as you can see, very early stages, it gets a lot tougher in just a minute. It's all about survival on this climb, and there are still 8.5 kilometres to go here. We have just told our guys to take it easy. As you can see that Williams and Holmes are very low on that blue energy. Williams has got a whole blue gel in the tank. Marcus Holmes, however, hasn't. But our main guy we're focusing on here is Daya Quintana. We're doing okay at the moment. We're just trying to keep going. Nobody's really putting an attack in, and to be honest, as I've said before, it's all about survival. Hopefully making sure we can stay in that main group, not suffering the same fate that O'Connor seems to be struggling with there, right behind us, of potentially blowing up. I think it's going to be tricky to get to the top without blowing up for many of our guys. Oh, well, O'Connor clearly hasn't blown up, maybe just going slow for a second. Well, everyone else is increasing the pace. We're going to just increase our pace slightly with Quintana. But as I say, it's just all about survival. We're not really too fussed about being up there. It's just about making sure we don't blow up and lose too much time. I'm really impressed with our guys here, considering they're not proven mountain climbers. Maybe Quintana, and that's why he's in the best nick, and probably because we're controlling him as well. But as you can see, Bierge's struggling a little bit. He's got really low amounts of blue energy left. There's a little bit, to be honest, Bierge's got a full tank of energy. I didn't realise he got all that gel, so we might as well use half of that. Inevitably, Holmes has dropped off completely. That's not a surprise. Ben Swift seems to be dropping off as well now. You know, not so much we can do about that. Williams is actually still there. Good to see he's still up there. Keep an eye on Quintana as well. Just telling these guys just to follow and not overtire at this point. Again, this is just all about survival. I don't know why he's going for it that much. I've just told him to follow and not overtire. So that's why we're not going to be in the top groups, ultimately here. But Williams and Quintana are our two best mountain riders. I suppose it's expected, really, are the best placed. But Bierge is doing pretty well as well. It's just over 3 kilometres to go. Ciccone is gone from the front of the field. You have to say that's a really impressive move to be over a minute in front of the peloton. But this is really spread out. As you can visibly see, there's only, what, 23, 32, 33, 56 riders that are really in it. And we're starting to slip away a little bit now. I think they'll be given a chance in the next decline to try and do something. But we've got a lot of energy left with Quintana, so I think it's probably worth starting to use some of that feed. With about 2Ks to go, we will start to use that red gel. But we've got a little bit left in the tank with Quintana. I think it's just worth pushing a little bit. Not much of a risk with 2.5 kilometres to go. Williams is also still there, I think. Yeah, he is. He's doing really well. Has to be said, he's run out of energy completely now. So we'll get him to consume all of his blue gel. And obviously, I can imagine poor Dibben. I mean, he's fine, but he's 14 minutes back. That's, well, terrible, to be quite honest. No other way about it. Quintana's doing okay. 2 kilometres away from this summit. It's a real challenge, these climbs. Just a balance. And you can see everybody's feeling it too. It's not just our inexperience that's coming to be the problem here. It's just purely because it's such a tough climb. Right, 2Ks to go, so we'll get Williams to consume all of his red gel. Not that it's going to make much of a difference at this point. But I think he's used all of his blue, hasn't he? Yeah, he has, so... Is that Williams there, just ahead? No, I get confused. There's a few different liveries, actually. But Quintana has got a lot more in the tank, I think, so... It's worth him just going for this a little bit. But Ciccone looks to be able to win this. Up to 21st with Quintana. I have to say we're doing pretty well here. And we've got something left in the tank. It's worth trying to go for it. Who knows, we might be able to get a point or two in the end. We're in that 5th group, so a little bit too far behind potentially to do anything here. Just over a kilometre to go. Consume all the red gel for those guys behind. Don't want to blow up though here. Important not to do too much. But I think if we get into 15th, we'll actually at least get a point. Possibly. Or it might be 10th, perhaps, we need to get to. This is certainly a valid effort from Quintana in that 5th group. Not far off some of the main guys. But Ciccone, really good effort from him. You have to applaud that. Really good effort. Half a kilometre away. We might as well push a little bit now. Again, we're probably going to blow up before the top, but it doesn't really matter. Come on. Can we get that one place? No, not quite over the line, but good. Good stuff. So Quintana's there. We'll tell our guys to persist without limit now because they can gain a little bit more energy back coming down the climb. But as expected, really, Quintana is our main hope here. And remember, we're pretty much in the top 10. So we're in that main group. And after that first climb, we've given ourselves a chance, although it might only be on one footing. But still, to have one of our riders up there would be mighty impressive. Here we are then, folks, the final climb of the day. I know we jumped forward a lot, but it's amazing how many kilometres are covered in that descent. Really shocking, really. But the good news is that we have got ourselves a foothold in that front group. Definitely not as tough as the last climb. Not as long either. So we've got a chance. And we are in that front group. Even if we completely tail off here, we are assured to finish at least 14th. Because the other guys are 2 minutes behind. But good efforts as well by Williams, Bierge and Swift, really, to be in those 2nd, 3rd and 4th groups. And a pretty positive stage for us in the end. We have got 12 kilometres to go. We've got full amounts of gel in the tank. Full amount of fuel, effectively, as well, because of the energy we managed to gain again on the descent. Seems Ciccone, he's starting to struggle though. He's the guy who was in the sole breakaway, so no surprise there. Good amount of Ineos riders in there, you can see. Looks like Kelderman's starting to struggle as well now. But we are pretty good at these climbs. It's going to be tricky with Quintana. He's not the best climber in the world, but if I can put my teeth back in, if there's ever a chance to do something on a climb, then this is absolutely that chance. I'm really happy with this pace at the moment we're setting. Just about 9 kilometres to go till the end. 12 guys in this group. I don't think we're going to be able to sustain the pace until the end, particularly. But we're just going to have to follow whatever everybody else does. Ultimately, this is a nice reprieve, so we can set a bit more pace here. And it's up and down in terms of the severity of this climb. It's not like the last one, where it's just a sheer climb for a good 10 kilometres. As you can see, it's really nasty now at about 9%. 11 guys now. Our Amador is starting to struggle. I think you'll see that throughout this climb. There will be more guys who drop out. But there are some of the best on the tour here. So if we don't beat them, I don't think we should feel aggrieved at all, really. Got a low amount of blue energy left, so might be time just to consume a little bit of our feed. Not all of it, of course, but just a little bit. The group's starting to spread out a little bit now. And we shouldn't attack too much, or else we're going to have nothing in the tank for the next stage, which just seems a little bit pointless. If we're going to attack on this stage, then we're going to know we need something in the next, ultimately. But that group's starting to slow up just slightly. See if we can get back up to that group. But in terms of the guys behind, Williams is in the... Oh, God, he's a long way back now. 4 minutes and 15 back, but there's not much we can do about these guys. It's kind of expected on a stage like this. We're not really going to have what it takes. It was predicted by the sports director, but to be this far up, even if we don't finish with the top guys necessarily, it's a really good effort to be where we are, I think. And expect a few more to blow up before the end as well, so it might well be 7th or 8th here. There's a group of 6, a consistent group of 6, that have gone Nieve, Martin, Port, Sivakov. I think Richie Port was with Sky at one point. Sure he was. This is certainly a good effort by us. Again, we'll get another reprieve in just a minute. Use a little bit more of our blue gel. Use some of our red gel as well. There's an Ineos rider. I think that's Sivakov who's starting to struggle now. Might be waiting for his teammate Gegenhardt potentially. But there's that 5 kilometre line just ahead. Gaps have obviously been blown apart in this stage. And that's what's really exciting about these hill stages. So 5Ks to go. Looks like Nieva's got a good grip on this. But I still think the top 5 might well be possible. That group ahead is not streets ahead. Apparently they're 40 seconds ahead. But we've still got a little bit left in the tank. Just got to check those levels of energy. But there we go. We've started to creep up on them a little bit. The help of Sivakov and this other guy in the Bahrain McLaren gear will help. Bilbao. We'll follow him. And obviously having a group of 4 is far more effective than having a group of 2 or 1. Or even 3 if you want to make that argument. So nearly 4 kilometres to go. We're just managing that amount of blue gel. Because that's the most important thing. If you run out of blue gel, then the pink gel, or the red energy rather, not pink. I always call it pink for some reason. That amount of red energy will significantly fall within a few point of a kilometre really. Sort of 0.2 kilometres. This is the toughest part of the climb then to come. And then it will soften out a little bit to maybe about, 8% at the stomach. But this is the toughest it's going to get. For Quintana. Oh, just look at that. Again, we know that because we'll be feeling it, so will everybody else. Not a great amount of feed left now, so we're going to use some of our red gel. Not that it really helps at this stage, but it's still worth it. So, under 3 kilometres to go now. Looks like Nieve will win the stage, but he's not far ahead. Could easily blow up, as Martin definitely has. So we've got a chance to finish in the top 5. That group as well at the front are starting to slow a little. If we manage this well, we can still finish very well here. Fair to say the yellow jersey holder's going to lose that after this stage, whatever he does now. They'll just start to put a bit of pace in here with 2Ks to go. We're not losing energy too quickly. So that's encouraging. Oh, look at this. Look at this. That's that second group. 2Ks to go. It's just all about when to take that feed. Personally, we might as well take the red gel now. It's not too useful. Might as well tell everyone behind to take their gel. It's not really going to do anything at this stage, but you never know. So, how can we do here? So we're going to consume the last of our blue energy. 1.5 km to go. Maybe a little bit early perhaps, I don't know, but we're in that second group now. We moved temporarily up to second. We've had the hardest bit though. Nieve looks like he's going to win the stage unless he blows up, but we're certainly well placed. For a new team on the tour, this is very encouraging to see Quintana. Exactly, the gap's not big. Going to put some pace in now. We know we're going to at least finish in the top 7, I think. With about half a kilometre to go, I think we'll attack. I think Nieve's going to win the stage ultimately. Come on, let's go. Might as well go for this. Quintana looking good. There's Nieve, he's slowing. Surely not. Surely not. No, come on. Come on, Quintana. Come on, Quintana. Yes! I don't know how we did that. I do not know how we did it. But we did. Nobody else went for it. Nobody else had got the pace. We won the stage. Wow, that's fantastic. And if that doesn't deserve a like, I don't know what does. I didn't expect that at all. Nieve started to slow a little bit. We put a good turn of pace in. I thought that, we might not have it, hence why we slowed down a little bit. But as I said before, that climb would hurt everyone, and it hurt us. It hurt everybody else clearly as well. And we did a fantastic job. And so surely now, Quintana's got to have the yellow jersey. And obviously 20 points to his name in the climbing classification. Just look at this. It might be 10 actually only on a first class climb. But we went for it. I don't think anybody else behind bothered. It was just about survival for them. It absolutely was. Nieve started to slow up, so I thought, we don't need to put so much in here. We come round the last corner. I saw the finishing line and thought, well, let's go for it. And we won by quite a margin, really, in the end. We didn't have to push so much. And those guys behind really struggling coming around the final corner. And we did a fantastic job there. That is a really, really good result for us, and really good for the potential of Quintana as a mountaineer. So we won a stage in the Braze Cup. We won the first stage with Ben Swift, but it was a sprint. It was a bit of luck, really. I don't think there was anything concerning luck to do with that. A fantastic stage victory by Daya Quintana. He stayed there, he survived the first climb, which is exactly what we were talking about, and it paid dividends. Also has the yellow jersey. This could be huge. Another hilly stage to come next, and he's used a lot of his energy as Quintana, so he's got to have somebody up there to protect him next time out, potentially the job of Williams. But wow, yellow jersey this early on. Brilliant. So the points classification still with the same rider. I think I do recognise that jersey from before. The green jersey with Buhani, and the climbing classification I think still with the same guy as well. But a good amount of points for Quintana there. That's encouraging to see. Sukone has the best climbing classification, so he did really well in the climbs, even though he did perhaps start to struggle in the last climb. I think it's probably going to be Gegenhardt with the points but God, I'm getting all these classifications the wrong way around. The young rider classification, yes it is. And a brilliant stage for us. Let's just hear what the sports director's got to say about that one.
Huge congratulations for this win, guys. Our chances of victory were virtually nil. This is an outstanding performance. You beat all the favourites. We take the yellow jersey. It's a perfect day.
I couldn't agree more. And really positive further down the field as well. Williams finished in the top 20. Remember that even though he finished nearly 5 minutes behind, so did pretty much everybody else. Michael Bierge 31st, that's good to see. Swift 41st, so not bad at all. Holmes mid-grid and 55th, 58th. The only disappointment really was that Dibben finished so far back. But you can see a lot of guys finished that far back, so he's not on his own. In the climbing classification for the stage, Quintana managed to take 11 points. In the points classification, Quintana took 37 points. Young rider classification, Williams was 5th. That just shows how well he did. We were 4th in the team classification, and Quintana top in the compatibility classification. So as you can see, Quintana moves up 71 places to take the yellow jersey. Only a small gap back to Nieve of 14 seconds, but the gap is pretty big back to everybody else. Midnada, he's 36 seconds ahead. Williams moves up 53 places to take P18. Bierge moves up 89 places to take 30th. Swift moves down 33. Of course, he had a good first few stages. Holmes down 10 to 52nd. Who's really lost? Who's gone down a lot? Mark Carter was 2nd, bless him, after stage number 2. He's now 75th. Gesh went from 7th place to 85th. Anybody else? Oh my god, Buhani. The yellow jersey holder after stage 1 goes down to 96th. Of course, the yellow jersey isn't the main goal of those guys. Quintana moves up to 6th then in the climbing classification. In the points classification, Swift, even though he didn't do brilliantly, still got some points and moved up to 2nd in that classification. Quintana, though, making the most gains, of course, by getting those points in the last climb. Puts himself up 20 places into 6th. Young rider classification, Williams and Bierge move up massively. Team classification as well, we move up 16 places to 4th. And yeah, a really good stage for us. So in terms of the individual pro cycling rankings then, none of the big names making any real moves, but Quintana managed to gain 19 points, so he moves all the way up from 73rd all the way up to 57th. Ben Swift, no points there. I don't think anybody got any points necessarily behind, no. In the team rankings, that'll definitely help us out. 19 points. None of the teams directly above scored any points, so that's crucial. I mean, to be honest, we were the highest scoring team overall in that stage. So because we won a stage and looked at the leader's jersey, we'll get a recovery bonus of +2. Because Quintana and Holmes are also part of the breakaway, we get a recovery bonus as well. So even though it was a really tough stage that, Quintana, Swift, Holmes, Dibben have all recovered magnificently. And Bierge and Williams just off. But Quintana, what a performance that is. So in Thursday's video, we'll complete the 4th stage, the final mountain climb. And I think it's actually a bit, I'd say probably a bit easier this time round, because even though there are more climbs, and that's a fact, obviously they're not as tough as those. I mean, that highest class climb really took a lot out of us. The only bad thing here, though, is that we're going to have to complete 3 separate climbs with one feed. Even though, to be fair, that last climb looks probably be the hardest. And then the final stage, there's a few big climbs, but not as much as that stage. I think the hardest stage of the Open Tour is most certainly over, but it's not over in terms of the classifications yet. 2 big stages to come, and those will be covered in Thursday's video, the 4th stage, and then the final stage of the Open Tour, and the final stage, of course, of our season. Our first season with the TIJ Racing Team will come in stage number 5, where we go from Compregnac to Mende, or Mendy. Don't know. Anyway, but thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy. Comment as well your thoughts about the stage and how we got on. I personally think we did a really good job. And also, of course, subscribe for regular content on Tour de France on a Tuesday, Thursday and a Saturday. But it's most likely that if you've stayed for this long, you're bound to be subscribed anyway. But if you're not, leave a subscribe on the video. That would be a massive help to me. But until the next time, thank you for watching. I've been TIJ Gaming, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye for now.